Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for waiting so long time. We had quite a bit of like half an hour of waiting until everything was getting into the position, and we are watching at semi-finals of Amateur League Tournament year grand finals. This is so the tournament which is at the end of the year, where the top four players from all seasons are invited in if they are fit to play the games or participate in tournament. And also then the next 4 or 5 or however is needed people are the ones who are placed the highest in the points throughout all the tournaments. And I already fell out in my round of 8, and now we are in semifinals, and semifinals we are looking at right now is Protoss versus Protoss. Who would have expected? But we have Season 2 winner, the Void MTheGreat, at the bottom left corner, playing against Bobson. Playing also Protoss, obviously, on the right upper corner. So Bobson is green, MTheGreat is light blue or teal, call it however you wish. They both are opening mirror openings right now. It's double gateways with cyber core on back of it. Well, it looks like there is MTheGreat, I believe, is sending interesting probe with dropping a second pylon. Bobson will probably spot that there is second pylon missing when he explores the main base of MTheGreat, so that will probably make some little confusion, and you know, just a little bit insy-binsy stress of looking for pylon in possible 3rd or 4th base locations might not be looking that scary as this one. They both are actually opening up the same opening, so they both are going for Stalker and Sentry, which is a thing. Let me adjust a little bit sound here. I think the music is still a little bit too loud. And yeah, well, Bobson is already revealing the cards. He's going for a robotics facility here, while MTheGreat is actually running around with the probe. So MTheGreat definitely is seeing this being built, and obviously warp gate being researched. Why this is built? Well, obviously because if there is no second pylon in the main base, that means that Bobson might be going for some like Stalker aggression, whatever, and the best cure for Stalkers is actually Immortals, and those come from robotics facilities. So that's what I believe Bobson is planning to build. He's actually using the energy from his for his sentry and checking out the possible 3rd base or the possible proxy positions. He doesn't find the pylon, so he still has no idea that such is the situation. He definitely is going to see that there is natural completely going on. There is Twilight Council, so the question is what's next. There is no Robo Bay, so it could be proxy Robo Bay that Bobson might be expecting, but he's starting his natural right now. The worker wise, they both are in quite an equal position right now. I would say that's not a big problem, but MTheGreat definitely is in front, I believe, in Nexus, or not. No, they actually have it pretty equal, actually. Yeah, the Nexus is actually landing down at the same time, so I guess Bobson expected that there's gonna be aggression. He started to build the Immortals, obviously, to be able to protect against possible aggression, and he is going to focus maybe a little bit more on army than MTheGreat is going to be. And the worker difference might be showing that, and it is already. There are a couple more workers for the teal Protoss over here in the left bottom corner, but the opposite side, I would say, well, if he builds Immortals in big enough numbers, he might actually abuse the fact and just go for it. Well, the teal Protoss player is using Kartosis Pylon. Really great strategy, we know that. So technically, if Robo Bay goes with like Warp Prism and starts producing things, it could be actually dropping down and shutting down a lot of production here for the teal Protoss. Anyways, the army-wise, Bobson obviously is in front. He has third Immortal coming out right now. And I would say if he builds crucial amount of Robos, like crucial amount of Immortals, he might actually push out, because, well, you made the Teal Protoss player did made him like build defensive units because of expected proxy pylon and proxy things, the aggression. Well, why not abuse it, right? So there are 3 Immortals, there's War Prism coming on back of this. There are 2 gates here built. There is 4 gates for the Teal Protoss player and 4 more workers right now. So technically he is a little bit teensy-weensy economically ahead, and therefore his army supply shouldn't be as far as Bobson's is. Even though he comes with aggression. There is the probe. Probe has been caught out, so maybe the Great did try to go send an expansion over there, like make a third here. Instead, now he has to do that over here. He has a couple of probes here mixed in the army for some reason. As I said, army supply shouldn't be too far. Bobson actually is going back home. He's dropping down the third. I think his third actually is a lot faster. So he was like showing the aggression. The Teal player here were preparing for the aggression, which would come from the 3 Immortals. Meanwhile, he actually has a forge. He's going for +1 and going for charge. I think his charge just finished, and Bobson's charge is on the way, and there are like 4 gateways being added in. So technically Bobson did show that, okay, you made me build defensive, I am going for aggression. The Teal player here, MTheGreat, did build an army up to defend against it, but the aggression didn't come, because behind that Bobson actually did not supply his army with more units. He just did go for more economy. Although MTheGreat is in front in economy, he has more probes, just 4 more workers still. And there is the robotics facility being built also by the MTheGreat. His +1 is going to finish. He actually goes for attack. There is charge lots, there are stalkers, and there are a couple of sentries. 3 sentries. Why there are probes, no idea, but there is observer. MTheGreat recalls his army back to the home base. He showed the aggression, he checked out with the zealots what's happening, and they both are just building more probes, more economy. Yeah, the Teal Protoss player has robotics facility, and he's going also with Templar archives right now, which means that there will be Archons mixing in the army soon, which means that there will be more gas needed to add in. The observer of Bobson is pretty much seeing what's the army situation. Bobson has actually quite a lot more army supply over here. I believe that probe might have been targeted to actually build something in proximity, but unfortunately that's not gonna happen. It's like 86 supply, army supply versus 65. The advantage here for the Teal Protoss player is only that he has +1 upgrade, which is quite a bit bigger. He catches up some part of Bobson's army over here, and that makes a little bit of a dent, I would say, but nothing much. Bobson is falling back, and the Great is going for the 4th base. I guess the 4th base, that probe either was for the 4th or the proxy, but the 4th base is going up right here, which is immediately scouted by Bobson. Meanwhile, the Teal Protoss player actually has 3 Archons just made freshly. He's starting +2 upgrades. Bobson is going for +1 attack and +1 armors. And he has also his own Archons over here, ready to get rid of these Zealots, which usually are the case, the reason why the Archons are made. Because of AoE damage and tankiness. So Archons are pretty good to deal with that. There comes the battle. There is one Zealot targeting the probes over here, which is eating away quite a bit of probes. Right now that's like 5 probes down, which is making the difference between the workers a little bit bigger right now, but not much. It's like 6 workers, it's not that big. The army supply here for Bobson is actually twice the MTheGreat, the teal Protoss player, and Bobson actually is going for the 4th base while the teal Protoss player is over here. He cannot manage to defend himself as fast, so the 4th base probably is just gonna go down. There comes the army, but the 4th base has fallen. The Bobson's army is just a little bit more bigger. There is no upgrade still, so there is no blink, no +1, no +1 armor, but the teal player here will have +2 soon. But it doesn't look like it's gonna kick in. The 4 immortals are making a lot of work here. The probes are being pulled for defense of the 3rd base, but I don't think there is enough army to defend this attack. And Bobson will take the game number 1 because, well, the economy is down the drain. The 4th base is being built. There is Warp Prism now flying in, so the backstab could be done. The question is, what will it get done? Now the Blink Stalkers come. They shut down the Immortal, at least one of them. There goes the another Immortal. There are Chargeless by Bobson joining in. And there's one more group of army attacking the Natural. GG is called, and Bobson takes game number 1. We jump into game number 2. Fantastic. Alrighty then. Welcome back to Amateur League Tournament, the yearly grand finals, last tournament of the year of Amateurs League, or Tournament League that counts towards some prizes, some points and whatnot. And you are looking at the main base of green Protoss player Bobson, who took map number 1 in the matchup where he played against MTheGreat, which is the teal Protoss player who is playing here in the bottom right corner, and he's coming from Team The Void. So once again, there is pylon, there is gateway for both of these guys. Well, the first game kind of was a little bit confusing, some mind games from MTheGreat, but I think he played himself really far, and Bobson covered the situation quite a good one. So, well, if you give me the army building stuff, then okay, I build the army, but unfortunately the army or the composition of units that MTheGreat did ask Bobson to build was just too powerful for MTheGreat to actually hold the attack when it came to time being. So yeah, mind games didn't work. Will there be any proxy buildings this game? Who knows, we'll see. So far, both players are exchanging their probes. MTheGreat is dropping pylon number 2 in the main base behind the mineral line, so that's for sure. And he is also attacking Bobson's pylon here, the Artosis pylon a little bit. And the second pylon for Bobson is here, so that's usually where the tech buildings are following up, coming next. Except MTheGreat looks like he is planning to expand. Will he manage? Yep, he drops down. The Bobson actually didn't manage to block it. Surprise, surprise. And Bobson actually is dropping his 3rd pylon over here in the main base. I guess this probe is just working, but there is already sentry out. There is gateway number 2. It was cancelled. Why exactly? It's like Bobson not deciding that he wants. Yep, he's actually deciding to go for the 3rd gateway. So he might be on aggressive side, and there it is. There is proxy pylon. Bobson is building proxy pylon. And he is going to go for probably gateway, and that will be Blink Stalkers, question mark, I don't know, we'll see. The Twilight Council actually is being built by MTheGreat. He's sending the hallucinated Phoenix all over the map to scout out what's the situation, and the gateway is being built here by Bobson. And yeah, he didn't scout for possible proxies. Actually, the natural is being cancelled, or no, it was never been built, so it shows that it's actually aggressive build. There is the warp gate being chrono boosted. There's 3 gateways, there's 4th gateway, so that's 4 gate stalkers from Bobson's side here in the game number 2. The question is, will MTheGreat manage to react correctly? He has one pylon here covered by 3 shield batteries. That's quite a bit. As I said, he was building robotics facility previously, and now he's just picking up the gateway to be built so he could get more units out, and he's trying to get the warp gate also in. So it will be quite a similar situation over here from both sides. That's 27 workers to 26. Only thing is that MTheGreat has advantage of more bases. There's actually hallucinated stalkers here. Very interesting choice by Bobson. The force field. There is force field exchanges, but there is the battery power, which is saving the units over here. The MTheGreat, the teal Protoss player, is sending his probes to attack. The Bobson is actually trying to do the most damage he can, and looks like there is like 5 probes which are going down. That's giving some little bit of advantage over here for the Bobson. The question is, in the long shot, if the main base is going to start mining out, then the income will not be big enough to actually hold this aggression. There are quite a bit more zealots. Actually, teal Protoss player goes for the charge lots. He goes for the pylon number 2 and battery number 4 over here to cover himself up. And he's sacrificing a lot more probes against this aggression. I think Bobson has this. He has more army, pretty much. He has like 2 more stalkers. There are zealots being warped in right now, but those do not have charge, so even though they are very big damage and they might be really good with a charge, you know, Bobson has a couple of pylons over here, and he's warping in more stalkers. That's 26. Yeah, that's double the army supply. So yeah, that's it. I think that should be game. Bobson takes it with the aggressive 4-gate warp gate into stalkers, and yeah, MTheGreat pulls his workers off, his probes, but there are more stalkers coming. GG Scout. Bobson takes game number 2, and pretty much can finish the game afterwards, can finish the matchup in the next game. Alrighty then, we are back in the semifinals of Amateur League tournament, which is taking place in 7th of December of 2025. Didn't mention the date, I usually do. Now you do know that. And this is semi-final between 2 Protoss players, of which first 2 games were not won by this one specifically, but he must win this game to not be kicked out of the semi-finals to fight for the 3rd place, but to extend his ability to actually get to the fight for the 1st and 2nd place. Nevertheless, you are watching at the main base of the Void, MTheGreat, which is playing Protoss here in the teal or light blue colors in the top right corner, and he is playing against player which took the first 2 maps, and if he takes another one, he goes to the finals, to the 1st and 2nd place finals, and leaves MTheGreat to the fighting the 3rd one, and his name is Bobson, and he's playing green colored Protoss pieces here on the bottom left corner. This is taking place on Tourmaline. It's a pretty short map. It's having some sort of visual spectacles over here, but don't mind those. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, the openings are as same as previous games, I believe. Yeah, there is double gate in the cyber core. The 2nd pylon for MTheGreat goes behind, and 2nd pylon for Bobson goes here. So no signs of aggression so far. Well, Bobson did show his cards or his hand pretty quickly in previous game. He pretty much dropped down the gateway number 3 in front of the probe of MTheGreat. Will it repeat itself this time? They both are opening against with the Stalker and Sentry. MTheGreat is actually going for pylon in here, and Bobson is going to drop his pylon to block the natural as long as possible. Bobson meanwhile is dropping the pylon here at the natural. He might be also going for natural himself. He's building double Stalker afterwards. MTheGreat is actually going for Twilight Council. Bobson did let the pylon finish, so the natural for MTheGreat has been delayed for a bit of a time. There's actually a shield battery being built right now, Wargate being researched, and the Twilight Council is going on. There goes the pylon. Will the natural be built? Probably. Bobson is actually building his own natural. MTheGreat, I believe, has his probe checking out the front and going to the corner somewhere, and he's going to drop the pylon. He's actually scouting the upcoming army of Bobson, of Stalkers and double sentries. He has one Stalker and one sentry himself, so that might not be enough firepower to defend, but the shield battery is there, which is good. There's Hallucinated Phoenix joining in, so that could be seeing what kind of stuff Bobson has to fight for. He actually hallucinates 2 more Stalkers and goes for the attack. The shield battery is holding it. So far, so good. Sentry is being focused by MTheGreat over here, and looks like the other sentry also was kind of focused. Bobson is targeting down the sentry of MTheGreat, and he is getting the probe done. There are 2 Stalkers here only. That one is hallucinated, so that's really fancy schmancy moves. But this Stalker of MTheGreat will get the sentry. Is there response stuff? There's actually Dark Shrine and Gateway being made, so that's gonna be DT aggression here from Mr. MTheGreat, the teal player, teal Protoss player. Bobson meanwhile is going for Blink, and he's going for Robotics Facility. He might be expecting some aggression. There is the gateway number 3 being made right now. But MTheGreat is just, yeah, he's maybe a little bit behind in workers, I would say, because his natural was denied for a bit. But he has finished his Dark Shrine, and he's warping in Dark Templar. It's 2 of them out. Technically, the Robotics Facility is the great one. So the first thing first that Bobson will need to be making is actually Observer and chrono boosting that. If he recognizes the build from his opponent, or he has SAW, I don't know if he has SAW, then he will do that. I don't think he has spotted. And he's starting the Warp Prism, and DT is starting to work on the pylon over here. So it will lose the power of Robotics Facility, which will deny the possibility of Observer being made, but there are 3 more pylons being made, and those will deny those will power back up the Robotics Facility. Force Field is pushing out one of the Dark Templars. There is 1 more pylon being powered, and there is the Observer popping out, and both Dark Templars are being spotted. Well, meanwhile, there was a 3rd and 4th Dark Templar which managed to get like 9 probes from the Bobson here. But that does put them both on the equal amount of workers right now. Well, is MTheGreat going to go for higher numbers? He's going for double gas in natural, so he probably wants to make like more Dark Templars, probably into Archons, to have the power. Bobson is sending out his Phoenix. Did he spot the buildings? No, he did not, so the placement is really great here for the MTheGreat. Really painful, I would say, more so. There is Robotics Facility being built. Yeah, the Phoenixes are just scouting out that there are 3 more gateways coming, Robotics Facility, and the some aggression probably is coming, but Bobson decides that he's going to push with his Blink Stalkers, following up with Warp Prism right now. There are 2 Dark Templars waiting here. Technically, if they come in, there is the Observer still here, and there is 1 with the army, so that could be quite safe position, I would say. Meanwhile, the army numbers here are in a little bit of favor of Bobson. MTheGreat runs out 2 Stalkers and will find this big push coming. He's going for +1 attacks right now, and he has finished charge, so technically he has Zealots, which are cheaper units with charge ability, with higher DPS. So that might be quite painful for the Blink Stalkers. There comes the attack from Bobson. He actually is blinking on, but his army is overpowering the army, defending army. Meanwhile, I believe there were some Dark Templars. Yeah, there is a Dark Templar in the main base, and it's shutting down a lot of probes over here while this attack is going on. Technically, attack for Bobson is winning right now, but meanwhile, he has lost quite a bit of probes over here. So his economy is down in the gutter. If MTheGreat can handle this push somehow, in some way, then he actually can do stuff. But unfortunately, he does not. Bobson wins the game, number 3. That's GG from MTheGreat, and Bobson goes to the finals of fight between first and second place, and MTheGreat goes to the finals between about the third and fourth place. So yeah, that's going to be best of 7s in both cases, and we will follow up the Bobson to see who he faces in his finals.